This is Justin.
This is Jerat.
And we are the Watchers on... Oh, crap.
Watchers on the Wall. And today we're watching 5/16 Felina, the finale of Breaking Bad, the show that you've all been waiting to see how it ends. And it's going to start right... Loading, 0%, 10, 13, 21, 20, 44, 56, 57, 63, 79, 70, 81.
And here we go.
And there's a bunch of frosting on the windshield. Okay, now we can talk about my problems with this finale. It sucks.
You haven't seen a bad finale. I mean, besides the Dexter season finale, you haven't seen a bad finale.
I never saw it.
This is just the finale that's good, but you don't like it. That's really what it is. It doesn't cater to your likes.
I will acknowledge this, that I don't watch shows that disappoint me, so I never grew up on The Sopranos and
X-Files.
Not the X-Files, Lost. So I was not catered to having a disappointing finale. I instead watched the good finales, like 6 Feet Under, where everyone dies. Spoiler. Fuck it. Or The Shield, when not everyone dies, but a couple do.
Damn it.
Well, okay. Let me start off with this. It's not that this is not a bad ending. It really isn't. I'm joking. I'm just overplaying it. My problem with this ending is it's just an ending. It doesn't feel like... It feels like an afterthought, mainly. Like, it doesn't have the power that Ozymandias did, nor does it have... Well, I don't... It just didn't have that punch. It didn't feel like it had enough gut punch for me to sit there and say that was worth my 60 minutes.
I will give you this. This episode, it really caters to the fan. Like, it caters to the people that want to see everything go right and end right and everything like that. It doesn't cater to the people like you who are like, fuck it, I don't want to see I want to see the exact opposite of what everything happened.
But here's the thing, is I think it caters to the people that rooted for Walter.
This is very true. Yeah, it does.
And a lot of this, I had a weird reaction, and I just sort of try to talk myself back. No, it's thematic, it had that reference to the Searchers that Vince Gilligan kept harping on in the Talking Bad episode. Yeah, sure. And then I kept hearing these. I started doing some listening to some podcasts because I wanted to get that thought straight. And I heard a lot of not negative feed. Well, some of it negative, some of it could have been better. And I started to say, why do I have to feel obligated to say this? My favorite show, possibly, I can sit there and say, this is a great finale. Why do I have to feel obligated? I can just watch any show that has a mediocre story that has a great ending, like The Shield. And like I said, I feel like this show, for some reason, this episode felt like it was catering towards the people who wanted to see Walter get away scot-free and do everything he did. And not only that, and I know you've said this yourself, but it was pretty much all predicted online.
Oh, yeah.
All of it, beat by beat. Even to the whole Walter giving the money laundering the money towards Gretchen and Elliot. Which I did not see coming at all, which might be the twist that I thought it was a stupid idea.
I definitely before I watched this episode, I almost predicted beat by beat. I was like, this is what's going to happen, or this is what I think is going to happen, and it played out exactly. I went, well, Vince Gilligan just wrote that out exactly kind of the way I wanted it to go, but kind of didn't. I was disappointed that it went like that, because it was to me it was very predictable, but at the same time I was like, it's almost too predictable.
Well, the podcast I heard that really was like kind of attacking the show and saying that it was proving all the Skyler haters right, that Walter's actually brilliant and knows everything that he's doing, and Skyler just was always trying to keep him from doing that. That's what it kind of, well, not even Skyler, but just anyone who's against Walter, like say Hank or Jesse. Like it almost was saying that, yeah, Walter, he had his plan and he executed it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like it was kind of going against the moral that the show had previously said in the previous several episodes, that he was a horrible human being. And instead it ends with him having a Badfinger song play in his head as he dies.
I definitely think they try to humanize Walt this last episode here.
I don't know. Even then, I kind of feel like it's not so much humanizing. It's more just putting him on a... They're trying to make you feel like you're supposed to be humanized with him.
Yeah.
They're trying to make you feel like you're in his situation. I feel like there was a little disconnect. I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the fans that were, again, praising Walt, he's Allah, we're going to worship the ground he walks on, they were completely overlooking that scene where he tells Skyler that he did it for himself. I feel like.
To me, that's the best scene in this episode.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I'm saying that fans that were for Walt were completely ignored that.
Oh, yeah.
At the conclusion of this episode, because it didn't give you that sense of that cathartic sense that you were rooting for the bad guy this whole time. But like it did in Ozymandias.
Right.
Which was a brilliant episode. And I always stand by this, that you could have made a brilliant episode of Walter leaving and getting a new identity. And that be him getting in the car. I feel like something just says that's a beautiful ending. That's poetic and yada, yada, yada. And
I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's Walt. I mean, like, to me, there's no other way he could have gone out.
No. I totally agree. I'm saying you kind of have to might want to rewrite. Does he do something with the Nazis? Does he do something with Jesse? Get him out. But I'm saying, like, as his conclusion, that's what I would say. And I brought this up earlier, and we're not going to spoil it, right, Justin?
I'm going to try not to.
But you compare this journey to how Omar's journey ends in The Wire, in the last episode.
Aww.
Because it, I feel like, because they had similar situations where they were in the exile and then they come back and they come back for a purpose, for a purpose. How about I'll just say that.
Right.
And situations don't really go to the plans that they sort of saw themselves getting.
Yep.
And for some reason, the way that Omar's story ends in The Wire, and I'm honestly not spoiling it, it was fascinating, and it was I feel like it feeds me long after the show ended.
Definitely.
To this day.
Definitely.
It still is like one of the best endings you could give to a character. Probably the second best ending to a character, and the other one being Vic Mackey.
Right up there.
Because I feel like, didn't you say you saw the end of The Shield or something?
I have seen the series finale, I should say.
Because I feel like with how Vic Mackey's storyline ends, there's a much more interesting dynamic where you're put in his place, and in his place he's seeing that he's become every bit of a heinous criminal. He's become worse than any criminal he's ever convicted.
Right.
And you're sort of there trying to question yourself. Did I do a good thing by even rooting for this asshole-ish piece of shit? And I feel with this show, you don't get that. You don't get that cathartic moment. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. They're thinking, why am I listening to these two assholes, or this one asshole and this other guy?
This awesome guy.
Yeah. Why am I listening to them talk? Okay, I know what you're seriously thinking. Why are you comparing a show based on the merits of another show? Well, two reasons. One, Breaking Bad and The Shield aren't that dissimilar.
They're really not.
I mean, The Wire is very different from Breaking Bad. I'll give you that. And maybe character of Omar, not really, not kind of pretty different. But with the Shield, it was a man who always had a plan for reasons he thought were good. Every decision Vic Mackey made had a major blowback to it. Every decision Walter made blew back in his face. In the Shield at the end, he makes a very rash decision. Well, not a rash. He makes a reasonable decision, and it ruins his life pretty much forever. And he loses every single thing he took for granted. In this, Walter, what does he really lose except for dying where he kind of expected to?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I mean, I feel like I'm just complaining on.
He kind of goes out on top. I mean, I get where you're coming from, and and he really. I mean, kind of what you're saying is he goes out on top when he probably shouldn't. When he's like one of the most deplorable people in the entire world.
Yeah.
But he gets his way.
Yeah, and it just left that sour taste that. Okay, so Skyler forgives him. Well, not forgive, but they have the capacity to turn the other cheek. And Jesse, again, turn the other cheek, not necessarily forgive. We didn't even get Jesse tell him, "Hey, asshole, how the fuck did the Nazis know where my ex-girlfriend lived?" So
yeah,
I know I'm harping on that.
Can we mention that the guy? What's his name?
Elliot
has
big ears.
Oh my God, we think too much alike.
I knew you were gonna say
he has huge ears.
Okay, and I'm sorry if we're talking, but I'll let you talk, and I'm gonna ask you, what did you think of this scene?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I was like, really? Like...
There was something weird about how they were sort of focused as the two goofballs.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, I got nothing else to do.
Well, like, not even that, but they're the yuppies that are rich and all that don't have the street smarts.
Yeah. To
know, like, they're getting conned and all that. But
totally
I can buy that, but I feel like it was played a little comedically, like I wouldn't say out of tone, but it just... To me, Gretchen and Elliot were always that innocent side that Walter always resented that he had.
Oh, yeah.
And for them to sort of be coming back as sort of the two goofballs in a screwballish way kind of felt kind of weird in this finale.
Yeah.
I totally would not see the scene coming, by the way.
Every time I think of Gretchen and Elliot, I think of one of my favorite scenes from the show when... It's real weird too when Walt gives the ramen noodles or basically whatever it is to Elliot, and he's like, "This is what we ate in college," and and I don't know, when it came back to this, I was like, "Oh, really? It's these people?" They kind of act like they're kind of morons right here.
Okay, I just realized there was a point I wanted to make, and it was a multi-layered point, and I forgot to hit one layer.
Layer away.
So it's like the other thing was people would ask, why are you basing the ending of this show based on another show? The other thing is a lot of people, when this came out, were comparing this, saying this better not be a Lost ending. This better not be a Sopranos ending.
Yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't made people immediately think it was one of the best finales ever, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I
think it was praising it for what it wasn't as opposed to what it was.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I don't think you can compare it to the ending of those shows. I don't think
you can't.
Any type of show like that.
But that's why
you can be like, well, that ending sucks,
But that's why I oftentimes compare it to The Shield.
Of course, yeah.
I can't compare it to 6 Feet Under, really, because I will say 6 Feet Under, like Breaking Bad, I think the 2 episodes before the ending is the best episode of the series. And then the finale is phenomenal, especially the last 10 minutes of it.
I love this scene, by the way. I love the little hand gesture and The little laser pointers.
Somebody pointed out though. Can you see how the laser's going everywhere and it keeps going in the lens flare?
Yeah.
You think Vince Gilligan got a phone call from J.J. Abrams threatening to use?
Of course he did. Yeah.
Saying, "Hey, you better use a lens flare."
Don't you fucking use a lens flare? He's like, "You better use one. I'm kicking somebody's ass." Vince was like, "Okay, shit."
Okay, sure, J.J. Abrams.
Oh God.
By the way, I really love the new Star Trek movie.
But
fucking
Spock.
Yeah, it's funny because in this shot, the lens keeps going, the light keeps going in the lens, and then the other shot, it's on her chest. Granted, it's not necessarily stable, but
I mean, still, if you saw that, you would probably automatically think that he hired two hitmen, especially if you were as stupid as these people.
I would think though that you wouldn't. Maybe you would have a doubt, but I would honestly agree that I can see that they don't want to take that risk, even if they had that doubt.
Yeah.
How long did you when was it that you realized that it was Pete and?
When it showed him.
When I saw them run into the car, I realized that was Badger, and so I assumed that the other one was Pete.
Yeah, I didn't realize until they got in the car. Then I was like, oh, well, okay.
You can clearly see the shape of the body. Okay, another question. Does it bother you that Skinny Pete and Badger had more to do on this finale than Jesse?
No. No, Jesse has more to do than Badger and Skinny Pete.
Well, okay, they had more lines, and I think maybe they got a little... No, maybe not screen time, but they have more lines than Jesse did.
Yeah, probably.
And Aaron Paul really doesn't have a presence, and which is why I argued that his previous seasons were much better.
Yeah.
Especially the problem dog.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so do you have any finale? Like, what are your general thoughts on finales in general? Like, have you seen a lot that you thought were great, or were they all pretty much either bad or mediocre?
They're all pretty shitty. I like the Wire season finale. A series finale, I should say. One of my favorite shows of all time is The X-Files. It's a terrible series finale. It's the same with Lost. I like the TV show, and I absolutely deplore the series finale. On this one, on the other hand, I like this series finale. It wraps everything up. It's probably wraps it up too nice.
Yeah,
but I still like it.
That's mainly what Sepinwall said, and he couldn't quite get past that to say he liked it. Again, I listened to a lot of Sepinwall and Feinberg, and Feinberg was actually kind of defending it. I've seen defenses on this finale that I can kind of agree with. One defense was like saying in the movie you can have a poetic ending that I was sort of grasping for, and it be satisfying because it's a small 1 hour, 2 hour window. Whereas with the show that you're devoted to for such a while, you kind of have to be careful of that because people won't really like it that much if you try to get in that artistic vein.
Yeah. And right there with that scene, just off topic for a second, I didn't realize at the time that Walt was like, he was going to look for Jesse, because, Jesse's doing his cook, and, if Jesse is doing his cook, and working, that he's going to kill Jesse. At the time, I didn't realize that. I was like, well, no, and then later on, I watched the episode again and went, oh, okay. Well, I get it.
Yeah. I will recommend, maybe not necessarily the Sepinwall and Feinberg commentary on their thoughts on the finale, but definitely Maureen Ryan's thoughts on the finale with, I don't remember the other guy, but his name is Ryan also.
Did you get this right here, this scene?
Yeah.
Right here? Nope. That was another thing that was lost on me on this episode.
It was a reference to when he tells the story about when he made the box.
Yeah.
And he tells the story to Win Duffy from Justified.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much, and it's him wanting to live the days that he can be proud of something he did. Which is thematic enough, I guess.
Now, just look at him, just pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, strangle Todd, or kill him, or gouge his eyes out.
Yeah. I will say, I always make that argument, but if about the Walter getting in the car and that being a great ending, but that means you would have to cut this brilliant scene out from 501, and then the even better scene in 509 with him getting the ricin.
Yeah.
That's my one negative thing, aside from Jesse.
I like this right here. Not this scene, but the first time you saw it, I was like, oh shit. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Now, when Vince Gilligan, his hint for this episode was there's going to be woodworking, I immediately said, oh, is Walter going to build like a little thing to, not the thing that he would build, but I figured he's going to build some sort of stand to set the machine gun on to, because he couldn't carry that fucking thing.
No, there's no way.
With his decaying body.
I got everyone's written Heisenberg in the house, and the house is just... I
did like this part where he realizes that's the point where he made his decision. And he it's 2 years to the day.
Yeah.
Unless it's a leap year.
Yeah.
Then maybe not quite exact.
Fuck leap years.
Yeah. So yeah, I have not gotten into one of my bigger complaints about this episode is how does he end up in New Mexico?
He drives there. What are you talking about?
Well, he gives himself away in this one location and tells them, hey, I'm here, come pick me up. He leaves, he steals a car that was so conveniently had keys in it and was unlocked. He drives away, not being seen by the cops not seeing the footsteps in the snow. And the cops, knowing that he would be around in that vicinity, do not make an effort to, send word out that this car...
I mean, but, I get it, but I get where you're coming from.
But you wouldn't see why it would be as big of a deal.
Yeah, but at the same time, cops get calls in all the time about bullshit.
But the thing is
but I get that he's so far away, and that would be weird if you got a call in New Hampshire. Hey, it's Heisenberg, Walter White.
But then they see that there's an actual stolen car. You would think that those cops would think, and they confirm it that when Marie says that he steals a car. And you would think that they would want to say, we need to catch that car to see who's in there, who's driving it. I would think that if you went, you would set up some roadblocks, maybe try to... Because I got to know the license plate and the model and the make, all that good shit.
Right.
If it was stolen in the first place. I mean, my initial thought was that he paid the bartender to take his car or something.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been even worse when you think about it.
Okay. I'm going to give out my big problem for this episode. I like this episode. I mean, I don't like how it wraps up so nicely that, you can predict everything that's happened. But here's my problem with this episode. Lydia dies later on because of ricin poisoning.
Yeah.
How does Walter get her ricin poisoning? He knows the table she's going to sit down at. He knows the packet she's going to take and everything. I mean, it's too convenient for me.
You know what? Because he sets it up to where there's only one packet of stevia that she would take it. That part makes sense. And I don't even care about the whole, how did he even brandish a stevia packet and wrap it up nicely as if it...
Exactly.
That part doesn't bother me, though. Because I feel like it's explained, and it's almost that whole character flaw of Lydia, like her having that tunnel vision to just be whatever, that it doesn't really hit her in that way. She would make that mistake.
I mean, I could see how she would, But like at the same time, I'm just like, maybe it's just my personality. I want to know how he did it. You know, it bugs me that he got the ricin poisoning into the package and everything like that so conveniently. It was the same package, the same table that we're gonna sit down at, everything like that. That's this my only gripe.
She was structure oriented. That's the thing.
It's true, but that is my.
I mean, it explained it. Can you give me that this at least explained it?
It did.
Whereas my problem...
That is my only gripe for the episode, though. Other than that, it's really it.
Well, then it's my duty to change your mind.
Okay.
Well, back to the cop thing. Is like, I've heard people say, yeah, but cops are stupid and they fuck up all the time. I thought, not when it's the Pablo Escobar of the United States. They want to make a name for themselves. They want to, like, catch this motherfucker.
And when they showed that right there, I was like, oh, that's poisoned.
I was almost like, when they showed that, I went, wow, there was no surprise there.
I was like, that bitch is gonna die?
I liked him humming Felina here.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The minimal moments I do like in this episode are the very small moments. I will attest to that. Just the really small details that Breaking Bad's always great for. It's just, I think, in a macro sense, there were a couple of, we had to get this done.
Yeah.
I think that's the ultimate problem, and that's why we didn't see how Walter was able to escape.
Yeah, I think if this episode would have been, instead of, an hour, right?
Yeah.
If it would have been an hour and 30 minutes,
yeah, like you
might have could answer a lot more questions.
Wasn't the Wire finale like pretty much the length of a movie?
Yeah, it's 96 minutes.
Yeah, and the Shield finale was the length of 2 hours with commercials.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same, like 80 something minutes.
Right.
When they showed that, I immediately knew, okay, yeah, he's building a thing for the machine gun.
Oh, yeah.
And so the surprise was kind of taken out. I would have kind of preferred maybe if Vince Gilligan talked about a scene where he meets an old student.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that when he was putting his watch on top of the phone. That
scene actually sounds pretty fun.
Yeah,
but I was thinking, you know what would have been better if he meets him, like say at the Home Depot where he buys the garage opener, and it leaves you that sense of mystery. I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah, he was supposed to.
You would have killed two birds with that, and you would have had your only sign of humor really in this.
He was supposed to, like the kid was supposed to come up to him and be like, "Oh, are you Mr. White? You know what?
Fire." Yeah,
and he was like, "Do you remember anything from my class?" And he was like, "Yeah, when you sprayed the things and it made different colors," which was like from the
first episode.
Yeah, first episode.
I would have loved that. I feel like that would have been a good little alleviation instead of the Gretchen and Elliot shaking and acting all cowardly and bougie and coonish.
Yeah.
Sorry for the racism. Just wait till we get to the Wire. So yeah, I do have to ask. Did you realize Walter was back here?
Not until a little later in this scene. Then I was like, I think because she's acting weird as shit.
Because she says one line that kind of gives it away. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, he did not hurt her, did he? Like, she's kind of interrogating, and she never looks up. But the thing that kind of threw me off was, in this episode, Walter's not in a scene. Or he's not absent in a scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because he always, even when he is, he just shows up, and I just know. It's like he has that sort of haunting presence as a ghost, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely creepy in these last couple episodes, because, he's on the verge of death, basically.
Yeah. He took the Dexter rat and became a lumberjack.
Yeah, pretty much.
Spoiler for Dexter.
Yeah, don't watch it. At least the season finale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... I gotta give all the credit, though, to Breaking Bad in general. I feel like... Do you get this feeling... You're watching Boardwalk Empire now.
Mm-hmm.
We've watched, Justified. And even The Shield. Mainly shows on FX. I'm kind of drawing from. And maybe a couple from HBO. I feel like a lot of those shows follow a specific formula of oh, this is the main antithesis for who's going to be in this season. And there's a logical structure, but then in the end, everything kind of works out for the main character.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I gotta praise Breaking Bad for really doing something very different and sort of, I think they ultimately sort of make it natural in every sense of this is the natural thing that Walter needs to be a part of this season. Instead of like having to say this is his one big bad that will not return next season.
Yeah, they definitely take that and put it on its head compared to a lot of other TV shows.
Yeah. Because I feel like each season is a part of the other. Whereas even you compare it to, say, The Wire. The Wire has all of its seasons are radically different.
Oh yeah, it's all different, completely different.
Yeah.
Same characters, but different premise from the city's perspective, I should say.
Yeah. I will make this argument to the day I die that this is the best scene in the whole finale.
Yeah.
It's the only scene that got that emotional drive out of me. I don't want to say like, it woke me up. It's like, when I rewatch this finale, this is the only time I feel everything's coming together. I feel like this is the one scene I would not change at all. In any way.
It's
pretty
great.
Between the smoke and just the way the makeup is with both Anna and Brian.
It's pretty great just in general because, you've been watching this show for so long now, and he admits, he admits why he does it.
But that's not even the reason. That was a great moment, but that's not even the reason. It's just the fact that these are two damaged people having to confront the damage that had been left in its wake.
Right.
And the moment when there are two twists in this show that I did not see coming, that I was genuinely shocked by. One of them is him giving her the lottery ticket, and because I was like, "Holy crap, that makes perfect sense why he would do that." And the other part is when he says, "Can I see her?" For a minute, I thought he meant Marie. Don't know why, but then they cut to Holly, and he brushes her hair, and I remember one of the crew members was like getting real misty-eyed at the fact of not being able to see your daughter. Like, that was really a brilliant moment in this finale. And I think by watching this finale, I came to a conclusion that's going to be controversial. I think the relationship between Walter and Skyler is much more complex than his relationship with Walter and Jesse.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Because with Walter and Jesse, it's always defined, he's a father figure, so and so. With Skyler and Walter, there's a damaged thing that was thrown away a long time ago that they kind of never really find. That you kind of have to study throughout this entire series. And you kind of want to find that answer, and you're never really clear who's really the person at fault, though a lot of people say Skyler. It's just, that's the part that really kind of this is the scene that kind of illustrated that to me, that I never realized before.
Yeah. Ditto. That's all I really gotta say. It's just a great scene in general, and you're right. It really illustrates who's at fault here, and that's people that were just bashing Skylar the entire time. That's that was pretty much all for naught. She did what she did. And Walter is just a horrible person.
All of her decisions made sense, though, and I think it was just, I've always had this theory that the reason people defend Walter all the time is mainly because he represents that sort of internet personality we want to give, where we can say what we want and do what we want and have that sense of self-entitlement. And that's really what he represents to us. Therefore, we get defensive when someone tells us no.
That's definitely one of the best lines right there, too.
Yeah.
I was alive and I was really good at it. That's why I did the things that I did, because, it pushed me to another level, that it made me the man I am today, essentially. That I fucking loved it. No matter what people said about me, I enjoyed it.
My one gripe with this scene, my one gripe, is Skyler did not say, Walter, feel the wrath of my vagina bubbles. And she floods the floor with vagina bubbles and kills Walter.
Yeah, well, if it would have ended out like that, you'd have been like,
You wouldn't have been satisfied because you still have Jesse floating in the wind.
Yeah, you had to save him.
Yeah. By the way, that is a real thing. Vagina bubbles.
Look it up. Or not, unless you're squeamish.
Yeah, that part right there just really illustrates just the power of having very little.
Yeah.
No dialogue. Skyler wanting to hug him and at the same time not wanting to hug him. I mean, there's all these great performances. Such great acting. I tell you, I love this finale. This finale is the best finale ever.
Even though I just bashed the shit out of it.
Yeah, fuck the S.H.I.E.L.D. finale. In fact, I'm going to spoil it for you right here. Shane... Never mind.
No!
Yeah. Just so much stuff that I wish I felt like this episode had more of. And I guess this doesn't bother me as much as I would if I complained about it.
I gotta say, these are really shitty cops, by the way.
Pretty much all of Breaking Bad, they're shitty cops.
Pretty much.
I like, you see in the background, you see him walking. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it before, but I can buy into it. Now, we talked about a lot about these plot holes between you saying about the ricin, me saying about how Walter got into Albuquerque. My problem isn't so much with the plot holes. It's more about I wasn't satisfied with the end result that we got. And therefore, the whole retroactively, some of those scenes kind of got, ruined for me, and I can't defend it. And I compare it to the season 4 finale, which is one of the best finales of all time.
It's pretty damn good.
When you think about the logistics of Walter poisoning Brock, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know that?
Yeah.
From a story.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
But at the same time, I don't really complain about it.
Yeah.
It's because it was a great little dramatic storytelling device. And the same thing with the train heist is like I didn't really care about the train heist, but it worked for me because they had that blowback of.
The train heist is awesome, but yeah, they have the blowback of the kid.
Yeah, I felt like that's what made that episode work for me.
For certain.
So
it's weird to see what's the guy coming to the car right now?
Kevin Rankin.
It's weird to see him because he is on Friday Night Lights also with Jesse Plemons.
Ever wonder what it'd be like if the cast of Friday Night Lights got in a shootout with the cast of Breaking Bad?
About to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually in a lot of shit. He's in.
He's in a ton of stuff.
He's in stuff where his mustache. He's in. Was he in Justified?
Oh no,
he was in Justified. I just don't remember who he was. I think he was Dewey Crow. No, wait, no, he's not Dewey Crow. I think he was Walton Goggins' messed up brother or something.
I like how he tells them not to park the way he does, but he does anyways, and he's just like, fuck it, whatever. Yeah. You figure I'd be like, no, I'll park the way I want you to. Whatever. He's fucking lazy.
Again,
criminal.
Hey, you know what? It's like Hank's fault all over again.
Yeah.
You just had that one moment where you didn't fully check your ego at the door.
Yeah, you'd be alright.
Yeah.
Or at least, somewhat alright.
So, yeah, I gotta say, this ending was pretty much telegraphed for me.
Oh, yeah, it was too. Without a doubt.
And I think the fact that I was pretty much calling everything that was happening, because I knew he was going to... I shouldn't say I knew it. But when after the whole shootout was done and Jesse strangles Todd, I was yelling, strangle him. And he strangles him, and I go, okay, he strangled him.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of... Yeah. So, how do you... feel about this being your concluding scene?
Ah,
Your last commercial break.
I like it. I mean, as I said, I like this season finale. It is wrapped up in a pretty big, nice bow. It's probably too nice, because you're like, because going into this season finale is like, this is what's going to happen, and I pretty much just laid it out. I was like, he's going to save Jesse. Jesse's going to get away. He's probably going to die, and he's going to take out the neo-Nazis. And that's pretty much exactly what happens.
Well,
but I wasn't upset about it necessarily. I was like, yay! I'm glad everything happened the way it did. But it happened everything the way it did.
Well, it wasn't so much upset; it was just confusion with me. So, I didn't know how I was supposed to feel about that, and not in a way I wanted to not know how I was supposed to feel about it, like in The Shield. If that makes any sense, what I'm just saying.
I get it.
Oh, what was I going to say? Because I had another point before you... Let's see. Okay. I had imagined that this finale was going to have this nasty, violent, sort of, Sam Peckinpah-ish type of ending.
Oh, God.
That's what I was really looking forward to. And just if they would have... Because at least... We have not talked about the ending of True Detective, which I think you're a little bit more negative on than this.
Yeah.
And True Detective, I feel like I like the climax more there, and then even the aftermath of it. Yeah, but still, it still had the same problems as the Breaking Bad finale, I thought.
I mean, I love True Detective. It's a great show, but it's wrapped up too nicely for me, more so than this season finale.
And the final themes that the show gives out kind of doesn't mimic what you were led to believe was going to be the final theme.
It's very true.
Same problem in the Breaking Bad finale, and then I feel like there was something else along that line. By the way, this is very unnatural. I feel like with Michael Bowen saying, "Oh yeah, you really think I would work with a rat? Fuck you." I feel like it just was a little bit too forced.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's playing into,
It's just the plans coming into Walt.
Yeah, it's exactly what Walt wants to happen right here.
And again, I kind of would have overlooked it, just like I overlooked all those other plot holes and flaws, if I just felt like the ending was what it needed to be. Because here's what I was going to say, is the end result in both of them, in both True Detective and Breaking Bad, or not the last thing that is sort of echoed, are very simplistic. That doesn't feel true to what both shows were.
Yeah, the good guy kind of gets away, sort of.
True Detective, it's hey, to me, the light's winning. Okay. And here it's, all these great times I've had with my...
with cooking meth.
Oh, grand old memories. My life will now feel complete, even though a lot of people's lives are ruined. Not to mention the millions that are using my product and getting killed over it and shit like that. I just feel, it wasn't really confrontational with Walt's end struggle. And
right here, I was like, come on, grab the keys, Walt.
Yeah. And again, he grabs it.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was expecting Walter to look at Jesse and goes, "Get down on the ground." And then they both get down and he does it. And instead, he tackles him, which was much better.
Yeah, it's way more believable.
Because you never know. He could have said, "Hey, get down." And then Jesse starts dancing.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Jesse said, "I'll never do whatever you tell me to again." I guess he would have said, "Stand up." Or "Stay stands." I don't know.
Stay there.
Yeah. And take this bullet that I'm about to send you. Again, I feel like the whole machine gun trunk, not really the most believable. I will defend it in how Oliver Stone thought it was an exploitation of violence and all that stupid shit coming from the guy who made Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, I was about to say. Fuck Oliver Stone.
Yeah. And he doesn't even watch the fucking show. That's the thing. He just, like, turned it to the channel.
This to me is just great. I mean, like, these asshole bastards get exactly what they deserve.
But I wanted to see them suffer.
Yeah, but, you know, that's not the way Walter goes down. He doesn't make people suffer. He blows their faces off in nursing homes. And he shoots them with a an M60 machine gun out of a trunk.
Yeah. I don't know. Just, everything. Okay,
I love how it all goes quiet right here, and the chair is still moving.
Yeah.
And the guy's on top of it, you know, and he's just dead as shit.
Right. Yeah, it's just little touches. I guess I should say other things I love in this finale. I love the style of it.
I love that right there, that scene right there.
Yeah. I love how it's shot and to me look like this really grimy, like, early 80s dark drama. I think it just has that perfect look and the perfect tone for it. Again, I complain about the things in it, but I feel like just the thematics that Vince Gilligan went for, I think he achieved those at least.
Oh, yeah.
And I do think that Vince Gilligan the finale may have only been, like, written by two of the directors or collaborated on by two of the writers. That might be why I might have a problem or two.
This is a long time coming right here.
Yeah. This was satisfying while it lasted for me.
Yeah. His eyes bulge out, and you can hear his neck break, too.
I think
perfect.
I mentioned it earlier. I really wanted to see Todd get his head smashed in.
Yeah.
I'd rather... I'm not going to say that would have made this finale better. I'm really not going to say that. But...
I think it's perfect, because, I mean, head smashed in would be too easy. I want this guy to at least suffer for the last 30 seconds he's alive.
Well, I'm talking like, say... Remember in The Wire when that one guy got his face pummeled into a bloody pulp?
Yeah, good point.
I mean, he suffered. He felt every blow. And I will say, Jack's and the cinematography I acknowledge is great. The sets look great, and I love a lot of the callbacks that they make. I like a lot of the little things, like I said.
I love the Uncle Jack part right here.
Yeah, this part was great.
Yeah, that he doesn't die from the M60. You know, that Walter finishes this off. He's like, wait, let me smoke a cigarette before I die.
Well, he's trying to bargain for his life.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't even get the chance to bargain like Walter tried to do with Hank. At least at this, he's making him suffer. Yeah. Do you think if you're saying that Max Cherry was the same guy in this show, was Ed in Breaking Bad, do you think Michael Bowen's character from Jackie Brown was also the same character in Breaking Bad?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, he was a undercover cop who fell off pretty hard?
Mm-hmm. Now you're getting it. It's all connected.
I feel like there was another person that was in Jackie Brown. Robert De Niro wasn't in Breaking Bad, was he?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because otherwise he would have been an Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
So, with this, I was like calling it, like, yeah, slide the gun to him, and were you sure he was going to kill him, or?
No, right here, I was like, no, he's no way he shoots him right here. No way.
I didn't really know.
Jesse's been through so much.
As much as I'm complaining about this, I will say, at this point, I don't know if anything would have saved it for me personally. So I don't want to make a preference on whether he should have killed him or not. I'm kind of happy he didn't, or whatever. I don't know. I feel like what's your interpretation of why he didn't kill him?
I think he killed him because he didn't want to he's not taking any fucking more orders from Walter.
I took it as...
And not only that, but he sees that right there, and he's like, you know, yeah, you're not going to live long anyways. I'm not going to put you out of misery. You're going to suffer at least a little bit before you die.
I always interpreted this as he doesn't want to kill another person like he killed Gale, a helpless old smart chemistry person.
I get that. At the same time, he doesn't want to do it
this is another great thing.
He doesn't want to take another order from Walter at all.
This is another great thing in this finale. That part. The Lydia.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
The Groucho Marx singing it or some shit. I will say I had this entire alternate ending written that Lydia doesn't get the ricin because like she tells the waiter to give her more. And that's sort of the one direction I always seem to go with, is that something Walter doesn't really think of the possibility that she wouldn't take it.
I just love this right here.
Yeah.
That he tells her. The only thing, this is another problem I have with this episode, is he tells her, doesn't he says right here that she has ricin poisoning. She can just go to the doctor and be like, hey, I've got ricin poisoning.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can get your stomach punk. I think ricin's pretty much Ebola.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really do shit about it. I mean, stomach pump, maybe. I don't know. But I've pretty much heard that you're totally fucked. I do like the whole casual walk after that whole thing. But again, I was really expecting that sense of they are in danger and they have to almost help each other out of it. And it becomes real messed up situation and such. Yeah. And what we got was just sort of, let's get this over with soon, I think. Ish.
Yeah. As I said, I like the ending. It's wrapped up in a nice little bow, but I appreciate it at the same time.
I don't think I hate,
I'm glad Jesse gets away.
Yeah, no, that too, but...
Jesse is, without a doubt, is going to get Brock.
I disagree. I feel like if he does, then the grandmother will call the cops on him and say, hey, there's a crazy meth user out here or some shit. That's how I've always interpreted it. So I don't think there's a happy ending necessarily. I like the idea of him being a woodshop teacher. I will say, I thought the whole idea of like trying to figure out what Jesse's future would be wasn't enough for me just to kind of feed me afterwards,
Right.
Yeah, I pretty much aired out a lot of my problems, but again, it's not a bad ending. It's not a horrible ending. I'm not necessarily...
Still like the machine gun still.
Yeah. I'm not complaining. I haven't seen Lost or The Sopranos. I've seen the ending of The Sopranos, but... I don't think there's really a reason I would say The Sopranos ending would be better.
No.
Now, curious, do you like the show more than The Sopranos?
They're right there. I think they're 1A and 1B. I prefer the gangster type stuff more. Don't get me wrong, I do love this show. It's probably one of my favorites. It is one of my favorite shows of all time.
This is a great blend of like the whole Western gangsters. It has a great idea of like almost a tribute to cinematography. And
this is a perfect song choice right here, by the way.
Sure. Like I said, I don't think there's anything here at this point I would have said I would have done differently. It's just I kind of don't have that capacity. But we're going to have to talk real quick because I wanted to bring a couple other things. We briefly mentioned the finale of The Wire. How would you compare these two?
Wire's better, easily.
I was more satisfied with the ending of The Wire, though it's not talked about in the way that the ending of The Shield or 6 Feet Under is. It's sort of the show is kind of upstaged by the whole. The finale is upstaged by the whole of the show.
Yeah.
With this, I think the whole of the show definitely upstages the finale.
Yep.
But I don't think it upstages Ozymandias.
Not in the least bit.
Let's see.
Want to thank you for tuning in with us. If you sat through all of this.
Now, real quick, let's talk about just the legacy of Breaking Bad. What do you think will be the ultimate defining point with this show in TV history?
That it's going to be a defining TV show. That anytime you see anything that tries to do anything remotely like this, you're going to think Breaking Bad. It's one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Yeah. Do you think it's how different do you think of it compared to, like, say, The Sopranos? Like, just like Sopranos was the foundation, Breaking Bad was the perfection.
I do
of the craft of filmmaking.
I do think that this TV show put TV shows on the map.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as that's concerned,
it's gotten a lot of people into watching TV, including me, obviously, and I think you were already there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are starting to kind of go back and watch other shows like Boardwalk Empire, Justified, and The Shield to kind of, and the Americans. I've not even mentioned that show yet.
Great show.
Like, that's a lot of them bringing people in. I think this is, you could say, the Godfather, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Of this era, because Sepinwall's always has a book about. I guess you can, maybe it's not him, but a lot of people seem to compare this golden age of television to the golden age of film in the 70s.
Definitely.
And I guess I gotta ask you this. Crap. Do you think the end of Breaking Bad, and I think you could also argue the end of Mad Men to be the end of this golden age of TV?
Definitely. It's definitely definitely an age to.
Well, I'm
TV.
talking like, do you think TV from now on is not going to live up to that standard?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think something will come along that'll be just. I mean, Game of Thrones is good. Boardwalk Empire is a great TV show too. And I think they've got stuff in the works.
I don't think either of those shows really hold that much of a candle to it, though.
I don't know, man. I think Game of Thrones is really good.
At least not Boardwalk Empire. Game of Thrones has a different.
I give you that. Boardwalk.
It's still in. It's sort of the more B show-ish.
Yeah.
But because the thing I'm kind of approaching it from is this isn't the end of the era or this generation. It's the next phase into the next one. What do you think Game of Thrones would be the show that's going to carry this sort of this next sub era?
I definitely think that, and
or True Detective.
True Detective, yeah.
Which one do you would think more of?
Game of Thrones probably, because True Detective is is only like the 8-episode type thing.
Yeah. Well, and also we're also entering the age of the internet and more online viewing and such. So we're getting House of Cards, which I don't think is that good when you can talk about The Wire or Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes, so I can't really comment on House of Cards yet.
Or I haven't seen Orange is the New Black yet. So
good show.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things to consider. I think people are overblowing it when they say that now there will be no other show better than this.
Oh no, I definitely don't think that. I don't know if anything will be better, but I think there will be shows that's just as damn good.
Yeah. You mentioned The Sopranos. You consider this neck and neck with The Wire?
Yes. Yeah, I think those are. I probably couldn't rate those. If I had to, it'd probably be The Wire 1, maybe this 2, Breaking Bad 2, and Sopranos 3.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably gonna get some ass kicking for that, but
well, because people haven't seen The Wire and they are idiots and they need to be subjugated, and that's why
you can go out and watch that.
Pretty soon we will be doing a live watch of 4 episodes a season of The Wire.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, we will be posting hopefully the pilot, at least our commentary on the pilot, our talks on the backstory of where TV was and David Simon and such. I kind of want to, really get you into... I want this to be someone coming off of Breaking Bad getting into The Wire, because that's pretty much all of my friends right there.
Pretty much.
So that's our next ambitious project. Like I said, I think The Wire is better, but Breaking Bad had the better... I think Wire had the better ambition as far as the message.
Yes.
Breaking Bad had the ambition as far as its creativity.
Oh, yeah.
And its artistic merit.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's my ultimate conclusion. I say Wire 1, Breaking Bad 2. Breaking Bad, even if I just had that whole fuck Ozymandias, fuck Vince Gilligan, fuck more Wally Beckett, Bryan Cranston's overrated.
How dare you?
Even if I had that as a thought in my head, Breaking Bad's still going to be up there under the rule of The Shawshank Redemption that's in my head.
Pretty much.
It got me into TV. It's the only fucking reason I'm even watching The Wire at this point. It's the only reason I'm tempted to finish Boardwalk Empire. It's the only reason half my friends love Breaking Bad. It's the only reason that the fucking Breaking Bad Heisenberg poster is on my wall right there.
I like that one.
Or even that Wire poster that you're going to steal.
Yep. Totally gonna steal it.
Which I will need to remind myself to surround in electric barbed wire.
I'm still gonna find a way.
No, you're not.
Probably not.
Yeah. So, look, it has all the merit it needs. I saw it at the perfect time in my life. I love this show. This show changed a lot of my it really inspired a certain creative value that will never really disappear.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts with you?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Great show. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Fuck the ending. Fuck all you people that made me have to defend Hank and Jesse. Fuck you.
Oh.
Fuck Walter. Fuck that piece of shit. I hope he burns in hell.
No, yeah.
All you people
definitely
people defending that fucking asshole, you're every bit as the plural. You're nothing but a Jesse. You're a sycophantic piece of shit. This is my fucking purge. You're the fucking reason I love The Wire more than Breaking Bad. Fuck you. Fuck you, Justin. I'm fucking out of here. I'm out.
Watch The Wire.
Fuck you.